It's your girl JS. I haven't done one of these type of videos in a long time, and you guys have requested this video, requested it after I did the Burning Sands movie review. I briefly spoke about my cousin and like what he went through while being in Omega Sci-Fi. I'm gonna say their name, like, for real. And what happened, because y'all were just like, you briefly spoke about it, but what happened? And I really, because it had just happened, he died in 2016, so it'll be 4 years this year in June. And so yeah, it's been a long time. I had to heal from it. I was going through it. I'm finally able to do things without feeling so emotional. Yeah, so I want to talk about it, so let's get into it. So when it first happened with him pledging, now given the backstory on him, he really didn't have close-knit family. Like, he liked it, like, he was my cousin, but like his main family, like his immediate family, he would hide things from. He would tell me about it, but he would tell me not to tell them. So, and certain things I'll keep to myself and take to the grave, of course. But so you could see, like, when you have weak spots in your life, that's what these frats are like targeting. They're targeting people that kind of have like those family problems, kind of have, you know, stuff going on. So it wasn't really surprising that he wanted to pledge. So I was just like, okay, like, you want to pledge. And in the past, I was watching movies and certain things, and I was just like, oh, I would want to do that. As I got older, no. So he ended up pledging. He told me about it. He wasn't supposed to tell me, but he did, because he knew I'm loyal to the soil. Okay. So he was just like, I'm going through the hazing process. Don't say anything. But he would only talk to me, because when you go through the hazing process, I had a homeboy who was pledging Alpha during the time we went to college, and he wouldn't talk to me, and me and my homegirls like, he just like, but when we found out he he was pledging, and then after that he was like, I'm sorry, and I was just like, yeah, because I was about to cut you off. But yeah, so he talked to me, you know, he like on the low, but I knew he was going through it. So if he didn't speak to me, I knew he was still going through the process. So during that time, his grades were falling, and to the point where he was on academic probation. It was crazy, but yeah, he had made it through, but he was on academic probation once he completed it. And I was just like, okay, that was like the first red flag, but whatever. And so we're sitting down after the whole thing, like the probate and everything, and then he shows me his arms, right? So I'm just like, so all this like branding, and they didn't brand him one time, they branded him 6 times. So, but they were like all in different sizes. But when they brand you, if you don't know, it's like they're burning flesh. So even though it had been a minute, it still looked like it just happened to him. So I'm just looking at him like, this is what is going on, like, this is crazy, like. But he was just in love with being in Omega Sci-Fi. So other things were happening, because it was almost like, even though he had pledged, I was going through it with him, because he would tell me stuff and all this other stuff. Like I said, certain things I'll take to the grave because it was deep, but some of this stuff I'm able to share with you guys. And so like, he told me everything that was going on, and I'm just like, why are you doing this? And he was just like, it's a brotherhood, and you know, certain things like you go through in order to get to a better place, and all the opportunities, yada yada yada. So I'm listening, I'm whatever, and then during the week he had to do fundraisers, right? Now when it comes down to pledging, you have to pay for your own everything, your clothes, your shoes, everything. And he was invested, he was working on campus, and but he was paying for like customized jackets and shirts and things like that. But during the week he had to do like fundraisers for them. So if it was like something like you wanted to give towards something, and then they had like events on campus from time to time where they would take donations to do the stuff or whatever, he would be in charge of some of those things. So that was extra time he had to put in for money for them. So that was another thing I was kind of like, it's late, like you gotta do homework and all this stuff, but then you gotta do all this crap. And this is after he went through, after he made it through, he still had to do this crap. So I was just like, okay, like, fast forward to his senior year, because we're the same age, like we were in the same year, but I changed majors, so I was gonna have an extra year. So it was his senior year, technically my junior year. Okay, so I was just like it was like late at night, I was just on Twitter or whatever, and I was just looking at this video because they had like this event. It was Omega Psi Phi and like a few other people, but it was like a kind of like a fraternity sorority event, and he went with one of his brothers, and this is what really set me off, and that's when I just was over it. I see this video on social media, and it's just like this dude getting stomped on, right? And I'm just like, dang, who is doing that to him on campus? Like, who is this? Because I couldn't see anybody's face, anything. When this person rolled over, I almost bust out crying because I knew exactly who it was. It was my cousin, and I was just like, and he's getting stomped out at this fraternity event. Okay, so the people that stomped him out were not a part of a fraternity. They were just people coming in. It was like a pajama jam type thing. They weren't from our school, anything, but they're stomping him out. I found out later it was a story like he was trying, the frat member saw him and they said he could cut the line. The other people didn't like that, and then that's when they got into it and they jumped him, right? So he's in the video, and I just see people walk by him. They either walking over him, walking by him. Someone was recording it. No one's asking him if he needs help. That's what set me off. I called my homeboy, and I'm like, you see this video? He was in college with us. I was like, you see this video? He was like, yeah. Like, I see this. Like, I just saw it. And that was his friend too. And I was just like, what is going on? Like, I call some of my family. I'm like, y'all see this? Like, I'm sending it, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. I call him, he would not pick up. I'm calling his phone. He finally picks up, and I'm like, where are you at? Because I'm coming. You know, like, this is crazy. So he's like, I'm at the house. It's whatever. So I go to his house. It's an apartment not too far from where I lived at the time. And he's just in his room, beat up. You hear me? Because they were stomping him out, kicking him. He's like lighter skinned, so he like bruised easily. And it was just crazy. Like, he just looked crazy. Alright? So he lived with Omega Psi Phi, his brothers, in an apartment. And then some people that lived in the apartment complex were the brothers too. They all lived technically in the same apartment complex. Everybody's just sitting there chilling. And that's when I went off. I was just like, these ain't your brothers. These people ain't here for you. Like, I was just going in. Like, I was just like, these are not your friends. Why are you with these people? Like, these people are crazy. They're not taking you to... So then I find out he's not going to the hospital because Omega Psi Phi said that they didn't want like a bad name, and they didn't want him to like their like criminal actions to be taken up against the frat and yada. So they had a girl that was a nursing student come in to help him. So JS is going off, okay? Like, I'm just like, we taking you to the hospital. I was just like going off. Like, I was going off, okay? I was saying more than that, okay? So then I was just like, who was with you in the video? So this dude who was his brother is gonna come to me like, you need to chill out, shawty, because I was just like, first of all, shawty, okay, I was taller than him. He was like, you need to chill out because I was with him, right? So that's when I got mad. I said, so you're telling me you were with him? You lying. You, like, because I was just like, how in the world are you really his brother when he is being walked, like people are walking past him, walking over him. I didn't see nobody with him. He said, I was getting beat up too. So that's when we go and have a screaming match. And he knows that I'm his cousin and he's not going to tell me like to shut up. He was trying to calm him down because he was about to lunge at me. Like, he was like trying to, like, what you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is Omega Psi Phi right now is just ridiculous and forever be disrespected by me. Okay, so I'm letting him know, let's go to the hospital. I don't give what these people talking about. Let's go to the hospital. He's still not going to the hospital. So I stay with him, because if you're getting kicked in your head and all that other stuff, more than likely you either probably have a concussion or something's going down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to figure out what's going on in your brain. I don't want no brain swelling, something damaged, like whatever. So after that, he stayed, like, I stayed up with him because I didn't want him to go to sleep. Like, because if you, sometimes people go to sleep and they hadn't gotten checked out and stuff like that, they don't wake up. Okay, they just sitting there high-fiving each other. Some people drinking beer, some people playing games, all this stuff. No one's checking in on him. Strike three. Okay, so I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I was like, you are my cousin, I love you, but these people right here will never get respect from me, and this whole frat is a joke. Okay, so then time goes by, and because he never went to the hospital, we still don't know what happened. He starts to get seizures. Okay, so it triggers him to have seizures. He never had seizures before, so he starts to get seizures from time to time. He ends up graduating college because it's the senior year, like I said. So in May of 2016, he graduated college. June of 2016, he dies from a seizure in his bed a month after graduating college. I get a call from my homeboy, and he's like, I'm sorry, right? I'm just like out. I think I was going to Target, like it was, you know, summer. I get a call from my homeboy. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry, like, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? I don't know if he want his name out there, but he got a channel. I was gonna say his name, but he knows who he is. He was like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And I was just like, why are you saying this to me? And he was just like, he's dead. Your cousin is dead, right? It's like, what? Like, I was just like, what? He was like, he died in his bed from a seizure. Don't you know that just took me out? I thank God I wasn't even driving. Like, I was just like, what? Like, and I called my homegirl who was in college with us, and I was letting her know. I said, yo, he's dead. She was like, she thought I was kidding, because I don't be playing around like that, but for some reason she thought I was kidding. Like, she was like, nah, like, stop playing on my phone. That's what she did. And I said, no, he's dead. And as I replay it back in my mind, we were all in shock. Okay, to literally celebrate him in May for graduating, picking up his GPA, graduating with a as an English major, to being dead. Couldn't even experience the rest of your life. So I was just, I'm sorry, y'all. School starting in August, I get an email from Omega Sci-Fi, Q Dogs, what they call them. And it's an email to everyone talking about there's a candle ceremony for my cousin, right? I contact some of this family when no one knows about it. It's something they were saying it was for the people who couldn't, because it was over the summer. Usually college ends in May. It was over the summer. Some people couldn't come back because it was in the city, like in our city, in North Carolina, but in the city we went to college. Like, it was outside of the window of the suite I was staying in. And I was just like, well, right, a whole bunch of people came. And then I see a whole bunch of purple, because that's what it's, purple and gold. So I looked at the window. I didn't even go outside. I lifted up the window. My roommate at the time, we're watching it from our room. And I lifted up and I just listened to what they're talking about, right? Omega Sci-Fi use that to recruit new people. So it wasn't even, don't you know I went slam off on social media? Like, you have got to be kidding me. Usually if you genuine, it's just like, okay, we have to talk about him. He made a, I'm like, all the money he raised for y'all, all the stuff he did for y'all, events he attended, things he didn't, he should have been doing his homework and projects he was there for. And then he was texting me and certain things in the middle of the night because he was doing his homework when he, in the middle of the night, he should have been sleeping, but he had gone to that event for y'all corny selves. I used to see them, they used to just like give me a look because they knew on sight. I used to fight dudes back in the day. Ain't no problem. Okay, I'll break all these nails for him, period. And like, y'all literally target people that go through family trauma, go through family situations, feel lonely, all that stuff, and then say that you got a brotherhood and y'all really don't. It's so corny. So that's the story. That's when you gonna tell the story. I mean, you just gave us a small little clip in the Burning Sands review, but you surely this ain't the, yeah, that's the story. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you later.